All right, we are live. We are live. What is the deal, Lakers Nation, Lakers Fast Break family? What's going on? What's going on? For some of you guys that don't know me, my name is John. I am the host of Clutch Talk and host of Lakers Corner. I every once in a while come on here and hop on the Lakers Fast Break post game shows and do some lives. But let me first get with my guy here, my guy Stone. Stone, how you doing, dog?
Good, man. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir, bro. Yes, sir. Happy to have you. For anybody that didn't catch the live last week, man, this was a full-blown therapy session that we had last week. Had a whole bunch of people here in the chat just showing a whole bunch of love, talking about their concerns about the season, talking about really just everything. We were just kind of going back and forth. So that's what we'll do a little bit of this week. And then we will also go over some Lakers news, and then at the end of the show we'll go ahead and get into some Lakers quizzes. Me and Stone we'll test our Lakers knowledge here, so hopefully me, Stone, in the chat can get it done. But to kick everything off, Stone, let's go ahead and I guess give a recap as to where we are today. Over here in Lakers Nation, today is Tuesday, March 5th. We beat Oklahoma City Thunder just yesterday. So we're now sitting the ninth seed at 34-29. So Stone, just want to open it up to you. Is there any thoughts maybe on last game or where we sit as of today?
Well, the the last game was, I thought, really good for us. I thought we played really well. I thought the defense, especially throughout the entire game, was some of the best defense probably I've seen from this team from quarter one to quarter four, or whenever garbage time started. I thought we played really well on that end. The offense was a bit sloppy, but yeah, I mean, it's just inconsistency. The same story we've had really since the beginning of the season as to why we can't pull out of this play-in sort of situation. So I think the fact that we haven't turned it on yet, it was right before All-Star break, or maybe right after, is sort of when we turned it on last year and really pulled away to make sure that we got in there. This year, it doesn't feel like the Lakers have that capability to just flip that switch and really secure themselves, not in the play-in, but uh, moving forward, getting a higher seed. So I think the fact that we can't do that, to me, is a bit worrisome. We can't push it into the highest gear that we were able to last year. And for me, that's a bit concerning heading into the playoffs, because they're going to need to be in that gear consistently if they want to go far, or make any sort of run.
Okay. So I guess like a follow up to that, it will be, on paper and technically, I even said this yesterday in the post game show, before season started and before this chaos started. I was drinking the Kool-Aid, man. I was like, yo, this team just made it to the Western Conference Finals last year. On paper, we got deeper. Wow, like we really seriously have a championship chance this year. Come to find out, that is far far from the truth. But what I want to ask you is, you talked about the fact that last year we were able to turn it up after the trade deadline. I believe it was, we had like the best record in the NBA from the trade deadline on to the when playoffs started. This season just aren't able to do that. Things aren't clicking. So there's a lot wrong with this team. I mean, from top to bottom, you could go from front office to players punting games. But to you, and I talked a little bit about my opinion last week, but to you, what's the biggest reason as to why this Lakers team isn't able to turn it on like how we did last year?
Man, I don't know. Biggest reason is tough because, like you're saying, I feel like there's just a multitude of reasons as to why the season is going the way it is. If you had a pie chart, for example, if people want to imagine that, there's probably 50 different slices going. It's not two or three.
Yes.
So there's a lot of factors. I think I could touch on a few. One of them, I think, being the fact that, like you, I thought this team was a better team than we had last season. And I didn't necessarily believe we were championship contenders with who we had on this roster, but I believed the pieces that we signed gave us the ability to make moves this trade deadline to get to that point. And the fact that we didn't, I think, was disappointing. We didn't have a lot of available options. There wasn't like a whole lot of stars or anything available to really move them for. But the fact that, I spoke about this before, D'Lo is expiring. We're taking now, I think, especially with the way he's playing, a 50-50 gamble on if he wants to return or not, because he might want to opt out and get more money from somewhere else or something. And now we have an asset that we may not be able to retain. But yeah, so one of those reasons would be sticking with the roster we have and not changing anything when we had a pretty good sample size as to this roster isn't going to contend for anything. The second or another reason would be the fact that LeBron is older than he was last year. He's had heroic games throughout this season. No denying that. He's kept us in and saved us in a lot of games. But I think it's equally undeniable the fact that he is not the same guy he was a few years ago. He's taken a step back. It's not that I'm not saying he's bad or washed or anything before people get on me for that, but because you know how it is. People say
yeah,
one
the chat will get on you quick, Stone. The chat will get on you.
I know.
Quick.
I want to cover my bases here, but he isn't the same guy. And so. And we need with the team that we have around him right now, he has to be that guy in order for us to have any sort of chance. He has to be that night in and night out. And it's not his fault that he's not. He's older. You can't help that. But the fact is he isn't. And so it hurts us a bit. And AD's been phenomenal. AD's been awesome this year, defensively, offensively. He's made strides as a passer. He's been awesome. There's not enough time to talk about it, but I think the fact that those two guys have to be awesome to the highest peak every night to carry this team for us to win is a real issue, because that puts us, for most of the games we've played this season, in a situation where we're playing down to the last minute because we don't have a big enough lead. They're playing more. They're tiring themselves out. By the time we get to the playoffs, they've exerted so much energy just to get to that point that now they're going to have a lot of trouble. Our depth is not good enough to sustain a lead. We can't hold the line when they sit, and that's a big issue. So yeah, I think those are a couple. And I think if I had to point to the single biggest factor, it would be Darvin Ham. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a long way of getting there, but okay. that would be probably the biggest factor.
So that's what I was gonna get at, right? So I was waiting for you to finish, and I was gonna be like, okay, well, what is the biggest reason? Because I gave a similar spiel last week when I talked about, you could go from as far as like roster construction, but from the beginning of the year, you could blame that. You could blame front office. You could blame LeBron is my GOAT. That's my guy. But even I could put partial of the blame on him as to why we're here right now, because there's been at least like 5 to 7 games he's punted that we could have easily won, that could have not, forced us to be in this situation here. And then real quick, just want to acknowledge everybody in the chat. What's going on? Kurt, good to see you, my brother. And we got Junior in the chat too. Junior said, even on a step back, LeBron's better than most players in the league. Yeah. That's what happens when you're the GOAT. And then what did Kurt say? This is the first time I've heard anyone dislike Darvin Ham's coaching. That's funny, Kurt. Yeah, no, this is a daily thing we do over here on Lakers Fast Break. Darvin Ham is just a outright terrible coach, honestly. And just like how, Stone was getting at, and I was alluding to that last week as well, which is like, you can blame all of these problems, but I think that at the end of the day, the biggest problem, and it's not solely on Darvin Ham. I don't want that to be the message, because to be in a mess this big, this isn't a one person problem. But Darvin Ham, I think, takes upon a lot of those blames, because I just said that LeBron has probably punted around like 5 to 7 games that we could have easily won, but Darvin Ham has probably cost us like 10 to 15 games that we could have easily won as well, if maybe better rotations, better timeout calling, but just having any type of motion.
Having a play. Yeah.
I was going to say, having any type of motion on your offense except LeBron James and Anthony Davis pick and roll and just go. So yeah, I would 100% put the bulk of the blame on Mr. Darvin Ham. So I'm right there with you, Stone. And then anybody in the chat, y'all let us know. Like, do you guys disagree? Is it maybe someone? Do you guys think it's someone else? Something else? You're gonna have to come up with a really good explanation if it's someone else besides Darvin Ham. But
well, I think I do think it comes back a little bit. You're sort of in a chicken or the egg sort of conundrum where Darvin Ham's the problem, but who hired Darvin Ham? And then you can follow that sort of, breadcrumb trail of where that leads. So there's a bit of a, like, obviously Darvin Ham is to blame for directly why this is happening, but you can indirectly point the finger as to why does Darvin Ham have this point of authority in the first place. And I think that's the root cause of a lot of things.
I think Stone in a very nice way just said, "Genie, sell the damn team." I think that's what Stone just did.
That. Yeah,
in a very nice way. It would be nice if Genie sold his team, man. But all right, Stone. Well, I mean, yeah, looks like we're in agreement right there. And again, everybody in the chat, if you guys have something to say, let us know. We're gonna be pinning up all the comments that you guys have to say. But I guess let's get into some recent Lakers news. Not the biggest needle mover, but the Lakers did sign Harry Giles. We saw him get some playing time here on that blowout win that we had against Oklahoma City Thunder yesterday. Not that big of a needle mover, but 6'10", 240, big, another like Jackson Hayes and somewhat of a role option. I don't think it's gonna. I'm not a big numbers guy when it comes to defense, because I know that at the end of the day, basketball is, especially on defense, is about that dog. It's about that grit. It's about who wants it more. It's like, am I going to let this person that's in front of me score, or am I going to just have the pride to do whatever it takes to get a stop? So I'm not a big numbers guy, because numbers can't quantify the heart. But if you do look at the defensive numbers of Harry Giles, he's got one of the worst defensive ratings in the league at 116.4. So I mean, I don't really understand the move. I honestly would have rather, I don't know if you saw, but I believe it was Oklahoma City Thunder. They picked up Bismack Biyombo or something. Yeah, they picked up Bismack Biyombo. I honestly would have rather go with him, just like a bulky, big body to be able to take shots from other bigs, so AD doesn't have to take those. And I'm thinking, this is me thinking like forward thinking from as far as like playoff thinking, and I want to have Anthony Davis as healthy as possible. So that's where I'm at with it. But do you have any thoughts on Harry Giles and that signing?
I just kind of like you don't get it. I mean, we have two backup centers right now that aren't good, and then you sign another backup center who's not good. It's just like, why do you need three of them? I don't know. I mean, and I believe they signed him to a 2-way as well, right? So it's not like a full contract. Yeah. So, I mean, listen, Harry Giles has had, in my opinion, his fair share of chances in the NBA. He's, I don't know exactly, around his like 5th season now in the league. If you can't stick in a rotation by then, I think it's kind of time to call it quits for NBA teams if they're looking for him. He's had a lot of injuries. Good for him for being able to get through those and still get these opportunities. No hate on him whatsoever for being able to work this out for himself. But yeah, I mean, I liked Giles a lot pre-injuries and all this stuff in high school.
High school, he was a beast.
Yeah, I liked him a lot. And I think it's fair to say that injuries have derailed his career. It's not by any fault of his own. It just, unfortunately, is the reality of the situation. I wouldn't take a chance on Harry Giles, even if it's on a 2-way personally. The only good news, I guess, is out of those two other crappy backup centers, he might be the best pick and roll defender of them, and he's not even that good. But so he maybe serves a purpose in that way. But yeah, I mean, it's a 2-way. I'm not too upset about it. It's not like we're giving him a full-time spot, and we're not giving him a multi-year deal. Fingers crossed that we don't this season. But I think, yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of Harry Giles, and not a lot of it impresses me after all the injuries he's gone through.
Yeah, seems very similar to that Stanley Johnson pickup that we had, which is just a very sideways move here. But let me go ahead and address some of these some of these comments here that we got going on. Just Lakers in 5, what's going on, my brother? Salute, it's good to see you. We got Justin. Justin said, respectfully, both LA teams out in the first round. I mean, it could happen. It really could happen. What I will say is this, and we can get into this a little bit later in the stream if you guys want, but I think the Lakers have a very good chance of getting out of the first round if we match up with Oklahoma City Thunder. Granted, they are a top five team in both defensive efficiency and offensive efficiency, but they're young. They don't have much playoff experience. Lakers are 3-1 against them so far this season. And at the end of the day, basketball in the playoffs comes down all to matchups. And I feel like we match up pretty well against them. But I feel you, Justin. It could happen. I mean, this Lakers team is playing like I don't even know if they'll make it to that first round. Sean here said, do we agree that we need November version of Cam Reddish if Vando doesn't return? In your opinion, is Reddish still recovering from injury or was November okay? Honestly, guys, I'm going to be real. I think Cam Reddish is still hurt out there. The way he's been playing, it looks like he's still injured, to be real with you. I don't know if you guys got to watch him this last game or the game prior to that. He's over here fumbling passes, not even bringing that defensive energy, right? Like when I think of Cam Reddish, the best version of Cam Reddish that I've seen besides high school, because another killer in high school, Cam Reddish, he was so nice. But when I think of Cam Reddish, I think of the in-season tournament version of Cam Reddish when he's clamping up Tyrese Halliburton, picking him up at half court, making life hard for really all guards around the league. These last couple games, he has not even been half of that and has been the same negative on offense. So, I mean, if this team wants to do anything, if Vando doesn't return, and Vando's also a net negative on offense. So if Vando doesn't return, I mean, yeah, well, I hope to get the in-season version of Cam if this team wants to have really any success here. Let me see. You could chime in here, Sean, if you want to chime in on any of these. Sean, I mean Stone, if you want to chime into any of these comments here. I'm just reading. Sean,
no worries. I agree. I think really for us to have any chance, we have to have some perimeter defender, and we don't have one right now. AD is the only one, but he can't guard the rim and the perimeter at the same time. So if we don't have Vando, we need that version of Cam. I sort of tend to think that the version of Cam we're seeing is more in line with who Cam really actually is. Mm-hmm. It's sort of the player. That's why he's bounced around so much. He's just not that good. And I thought he was going to be really good. I liked him a lot in high school. I thought him and Nasir Little were going to be awesome. Clearly I was wrong.
Yeah. Him, Nasir Little, and Jalen Hands, I thought these guys were going to be the truth. To be honest.
If you watch the Jordan Brand Classic game, I mean, that's like probably the most all-time Jordan Brand Classic game you can ever watch with Nasir's matching up against Reddish. But I think this is more the real Cam, unfortunately. That's why he's on a minimum. That's why he hasn't been able to stick anywhere, is because he just is not that good. And I hate to say that because I'd love nothing more than Cam to be that level of defender. Like when he was playing during November like that, he was like playing all defensive level type defense, but he just hasn't done that throughout his career. That's the best defense he's ever played in his life. So the fact that it only lasted for like a month or two, to me, tells me that, the 6 years before that of sample size where he didn't do that is probably more realistic than the 2 months of sample size where he did.
Yeah. And knowing Lakers Nation, sometimes if Lakers players have one good game, the Lakers Nation can really hype them up. And you would think like, oh wow, like this player's back. For example, Stanley Johnson. I remember there was people there was people just raving about Stanley Johnson. I don't even think my man's is in the league anymore. But might be bouncing around the G League. But yeah, I'm right there with you with Cam Reddish. As much as I really liked him on offense, and I mean I really liked him in high school. And what I was gonna get to was, it's crazy that I guess it just shows you how, different levels of the NBA, but it's crazy because you go watch Cam Reddish in high school, even college, dude has a bag offensive, has a bag, knows how to get a bucket. But then, when he gets to the league, he just gets demoted to a top tier defender. And right now he doesn't even do that anymore. But let's see what we got going on here in the chat. John said, trust the Lakers. I hope I pronounced your name right, but yeah, John said, trust the Lakers. I'm trying, buddy, but it's
I would
hard.
like to.
I would like to. I really would like to, but it's hard when we win one game, lose the next game, win one game, lose the next game. So it's a tough one. I would like to though. Sean said Biombo looked like a potted plant or a traffic cone last night. Yes, but I still would rather took that over Harry Giles, to be honest with you. Just want another big. And when I say these things, it's like I'm the type of guy that it's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? And the 2020 team was so damn good, and the way that roster was constructed, we had those backup bigs to take blows for AD when he's not out there. I mean, Jokic and a lot of Nuggets players talk about like that Lakers team. What was tough about going against them was the physicality of Dwight Howard. Like, he was just so physical with Jokic, and I just think that like Anthony Davis can do that, but we're risking our most important player by asking him to go body to body with all these other bigs. So that's really why I want that. Justin said, how do y'all feel about the Thunder? Stone, I'm gonna go ahead and let you take this one. You let me know how you feel, and then I'll go ahead and bounce up right after you.
Yeah, I think actually, if anyone caught the playback last night, I talked a little bit about it. I tend to disagree. I think Joe's more on John's side as well, where I think they favor our matchup in the Thunder series. I actually would rather face the Wolves than I would the Thunder.
Really?
I would, yeah. And for me, to put into context, like, and everyone's going to say, well, did you watch last night's game? Yes, I did. But they're coming off the second night of a back-to-back against, if you watch the night prior, they played really physically against a Suns team. They're on the road. There's some context behind why it was such a blowout for us. Not to say that we wouldn't have won, but so I think the reason I don't want to match up against the Thunder, they are very young. That's number one. That's not a reason why I don't want to, but it's that's, I think, why a lot of people tend to favor them and look at them as more favorable if they're as a first seed as opposed to somebody else. And in the past, that has definitely been like a big reason why young teams don't go as far as their seed might indicate, because they just don't have that playoff experience. And that may very well be the case for the Thunder. I'm not going to say that won't happen. But this Thunder team feels much different than a whole lot of other young teams before them. They are constructed extremely well. This is a team that really, when it break it down to the nucleus as to why I don't want to face them, they have, for 48 minutes, they'll have Shea carving up our guard defenders, right? Neither Reeves or D'Lo is going to be able to stop him in any capacity. But then you have to face him on the other end. Shea's become a really good defender. Then you have Dort, who's also a great guard defender. And then you have J-Dub, who's a really great guard defender. And then off the bench, you have Cason Wallace, who's, if you watched last night, got some of the best hands in the NBA as a guard defender. So you have 48 minutes of really good guard defense, which Reeves and D'Lo are guys we're really going to have to rely on, because LeBron and AD do need help, as good as they are. So if you have them defensively not being able to match up at all against somebody like Shea, who will carve them up against a 7 or however many game series, and then you have them really struggling because they're locked down offensively, I think the guard to guard matchup is primarily what I'm focused on, and that's probably the hardest, I mean, that you could imagine for us specifically. Against a team like the Wolves, they're bigger. I think that's where AD would thrive more. You put Gobert in a bunch of pick and rolls. You have Cat, who obviously can space the floor, but you're preventing them from driving in more. Edwards is really the only guard you have to worry about on that team. I think Conley, our guards would be able to hold their own against. He's not really much of a, not to say he's bad, but he's not what he was. He's not, the offensive explosion that he used to be. So if you are dealing with that, I think matching up with size is better for the Lakers as opposed to matching up against these really formidable guards for 48 minutes, game in and game out for the Lakers.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, Stone. That is a great point, and I'm gonna get to that right now. Let me just real quick show some love. My boy AJ said Lakers in 4. So our perimeter defense is horrible. Absolutely, our perimeter defense is horrible, and I feel like that goes hand in hand. And kind of what Stone was saying is because our perimeter defense being so bad, us having to face Oklahoma City Thunder. I mean, they have damn near the MVP. I'm gonna be honest. Earlier in the season, I said give Shea the MVP, and a lot of people thought I was crazy, but I'm happy that everybody is seeing this now. And what's crazy is the man is putting up 30 plus points per game on like three-pointer attempts per game. So he's not even getting that many 3-pointers. That means he's getting to the cup the whole game. So yeah, I'm right there with you, AJ. But to get back to the point of like how you were talking about of us either facing Oklahoma City Thunder or the Wolves. So I'm gonna be honest. Earlier in the season, I was big on like we gotta face the Wolves. We gotta face the Wolves. It's all about matchups, and I believe that we can get Rudy Gobert played off the court. I mean, I don't think there's been one playoffs that Rudy Gobert's been a part of that he has not been played off the court. So we know what's gonna happen there. And the reason why I was so hyped on that was because the Thunder, they've been playing one way this entire season, which is that two big lineup of Rudy Gobert and Cat. Now, when Rudy Gobert gets played off the court, Cat slides to the 5. Maybe Naz Reid comes in and he plays that 4, so they can still somewhat play that two big twin tower lineup. But you're moving away from what you did the entire season, and now you got to play a new style of basketball. I won't put my money on that too much. But the reason why my answers changed is here's why, and here's why I'd actually rather face OKC. Not only in the fact that we're 3-1 against them so far, so we already got that mental edge. Like I'm gonna be honest, like and again, I make these, I try to make these examples, but I'm far from the NBA, right? But like when I go to the gym, if I keep beating you, every time I play you, I'm coming in with the mindset like I'm gonna beat you again. Like I beat you the last 3 times we played. Like I'm gonna just keep going. To be honest, this is easy. I'm gonna do what keeps working, right? And we're 3-1 against them. So I think that there is even maybe somewhere in the Lakers' mind or even somewhere in the Thunder's mind is like, dang, like what can we do to beat this team, right? Even though when you look at standing wise, Thunder are a better team and offensive efficiency, defensive efficiency, numbers, points per game, like all of that, right? Yeah, they're a better team, but basketball it's not always about numbers, and it comes down to matchups or whatnot. But the reason why at the end of the day I'd rather face the Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Timberwolves is because when we're going to have to run through Anthony Davis, this is going to have to be a whole bunch of LeBron and Anthony Davis pick and rolls. Anthony Davis is going to have to be really dominant. And granted, I think he can be dominant against both teams, the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Wolves. But the thing is, against the Wolves, they have so many looks to throw his way. They have so many looks. They can try Rudy, and then when Rudy gets paid off the court, they can try Cat. And then when Cat just can't keep up with him because he's too zesty, then then they bring in Naz Reid, and then Naz Reid is too little. So that I think Anthony Davis can outplay all those guys, but he's going to have to hustle, and he's going to be getting different looks all throughout the game. And I think that's tough, right? Chris Finch is also a really good coach. He's going to throw some really good elaborate traps at him versus the Oklahoma City Thunder, right? And then another point about the Wolves is the fact that, like, let's say that Cat is being the primary defender on Anthony Davis. Rudy Gobert can really just roam. He can really be that secondary defender. And as soon as AD goes up for that little post hook, he can just come through and he's cleaning stuff up because he's not the primary defender. So he's not taking all them shoulders that Cat is going to be taken by AD. But on the other hand, Oklahoma City Thunder, who do they have? They have Chet, and they just got Bismack. We saw what AD did to Bismack. Sean said he looked like a cone. So 100% he looked like a cone. AD will do that even more to him in the playoffs. But Chet, I think he's a good player. I think he's a lot of potential, but he's just too small. Okay, like too small. And I love when people talk about heart over height and like heart is important. And yeah, like heart over height, all that. I'll give you all that. But at the end of the day, y'all, lbs, pounds matter in basketball. Okay, if you're just too small, like it's like if I played a middle schooler right now. It's like, bro, I'm a grown ass man. Like you're a kid. Like watch out. And I think that that's the way that AD would treat a Chet. And I think that AD being the most important player on his team, him getting it going because he's eating on Chet, I think that would put us in the best position to win. So that's the only reason why I'm just so favoring the Thunder playing against them. But I mean, at the end of the day, I think if we get both Thunder and either or Thunder or the Wolves, I feel pretty confident, to be honest. Every other team, my confidence level severely drops here. But you
I
can,
was gonna. Oh, go
yeah,
ahead.
talk to me. No, talk
I
to
was
me.
gonna say in the second round, if we were to get first we have to get through 2 playing games to get to that point, which is
It's so tough.
sucks. And then if we were to get past the first round, you're probably facing the Nuggets, which to me is
The
not
worst
ideal.
possible
Yeah.
matchup.
So that really to me puts a cap on second, like highest of heights would be second round, because Fates, I mean, you're not even getting to the Western Conference Finals before you have to see them because of the seeding. They're in third place. They're half game, so there's a chance they could be the first team we face. Really, I didn't actually realize they were that close to the first seed. But so if they're the first team we face, then all of this is just like this was a 4 or 5 game series. I feel like for the Nuggets, after we play 2 playing games, and that really would, not be good. So that's the dark horse team, I guess, too, to consider for the first seed if we're looking at possible matchups.
Yeah, absolutely. And then real quick, let me get to some of these comments that we got here. Bryson talking about Thunder are a good team. They just need a few vets to guide the talent they have. Absolutely. And I think that was what they thought of by bringing in Gordon Hayward, which honestly, I saw Gordon Hayward play yesterday and I was like, this man looks unrecognizable. Like he doesn't even look like the Gordon Hayward
It
that
looks
I know.
weird in the uniform.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It looks really weird. He didn't have that little comb over that he usually got too. So
Yeah.
yeah, he looked different. But yeah, I agree with you, Bryson. They do need some vets, and I think they needed vets and bigs. They kind of in a way took care of both of that with Bismack and Gordon Hayward, but we know what Bismack's doing. Empire Jeff TV, what's the deal, my boy? How you doing? How you doing? Happy to have you guys on here. Let me see. Austin played surprisingly good defense against SGA last night. He was not an awful matchup for SGA because SGA is neither a speed merchant or a bully. SGA plays, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it. I'm gonna be honest. Yes, I'll give AR his credit or whatnot, but like, man, I've watched a whole lot of SGA this season. That was a really bad game from him. That was a really bad game from him. He is a very elite player and like just was making a lot of mistakes that you
They
don't
just missed
see.
a lot of shots, I feel like. They just seem fatigued, I feel like.
Yeah.
For anyone that watched their game prior, like I said, against the Suns, it was very physical. So it makes a lot more sense to me on the second night of a back-to-back on the road after a game like they had played the night before that they would have fell flat as they did.
Yeah. Let me see here. Kurt talking about I appreciate that, Kurt. Kurt says check out, please, if you guys don't mind, check out my Lakers Corner channel. That's on YouTube. And I also have another NBA talk show called Clutch Talk. That's right there. That's on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, talking about NBA news. But right now we here with my guy Stone. And then let me see what Kurt said. Kurt said Spence and AR played some good D yesterday. Love that block that Spence had on SGA. Yes. I mean, that was about the only positive thing I can say about Spencer Dinwiddie so far was maybe that block, because so far he has been.
Yeah, I did not want him on this team.
Did not want. I honestly, when I saw the day before he got signed, he was at the Lakers game, sitting right next to Rob Pelinka. I don't know if you saw it when they panned the camera, panned to him and Rob. And then the second I saw that, I was like, oh man, this is gonna. This I already know is gonna happen. Next day, ended up getting signed, and like getting him for like almost nothing. Damn near free is solid, but it's like he doesn't even look like he remembers how to hoop, and that's the thing that bothers me is like, why do people come to the Lakers and just forget how to play basketball? Gabe Vincent, Kendrick Nunn, Lou Williams, now Spencer Dinwiddie, all these guys like just forget how to hoop when it comes to the Lakers. Like I get it, the lights is bright, but come on, y'all. Like we're not bringing y'all here for this.
It feels like the Lakers just hold on to names from these guys. Like these guys might have been good 2-3 years ago, but like it feels like the Lakers just don't watch them or something. Because if you have seen Spencer Dinwiddie since the Mavericks, like he's not been that good. So to think that he would be like a spark or a six man for them, to me is just like
It's
Do you not
crazy.
watch the games or anything? Like,
It's crazy, right? I mean,
yeah,
and same thing. I mean, gladly Christian Wood is playing a little bit better than than what we thought. But I mean, a couple of years ago, he was supposed to be Luka's like second guy, his pick and roll partner, right? He gets removed off that. The Mavericks and the rest of the league see this doesn't work, and then what did the Lakers do 2 years later? Oh yeah, pick him up. He's going to be a crucial part of this team. So yeah, I don't know. Again, kind of a full circle stone. What did we talk about at the beginning? That front office, that front
yeah,
office, man, making some terrible mistakes.
yeah, yep.
Some terrible. All right, let me see what's going on here. Xbox Game Pass. Okay. Sometimes PS4. All right. Why is Giddy getting played 18 minutes? What a waste of talent. Honestly, Giddy's been getting exposed the last couple of games out here in the league. I mean, I've been seeing a lot of teams just been forcing him to shoot, and
I think this is how Giddy should be played. If I'm being honest with you, on this
yeah,
team, I think that the first person the Thunder should move off of is Giddy in this offseason because he's just over repetitive with what they have. His shooting's been hot the past couple of games, but he's not a very good shooter. He's not a very good defender. And with this Thunder team, to be neither of those things is sort of a detriment for him. They're better off playing Isaiah Joe more to get his spacing rather than Giddy. And Giddy still probably has a lot of value in the league, so I would be exploring different offers on the market with him.
that's actually what I was saying pre trade deadline, to be honest with you. Now I understand why they didn't go with it, because it would have been insanely like early just to give up on Giddy, especially with like your team's playing so well. Like, you're so young, you might as well just try and run it, see how far you can get or whatnot. But that was one thing I was saying, is like, I don't think Giddy necessarily fits what this team is trying to do, but he fits what a lot of other teams in the league are trying to do. Or like, you just throw him on a Washington Wizards, or because he's a good player. He's a really good player. I don't want people to get the idea that think he's not a good player. Like, I be telling my brother all the time, like, yo, Josh Giddy is one of them. Like, we're talking about a like a relic. He could play the big, but he's also bringing the ball down court at times. He can handle the ball. But my thing with Giddy is that I just don't think he fits what the Thunder are trying to do. And so much of the league is not about talent, but it's about fit. And I think that they could probably get a better fit and could bring in, I mean, you swing in your immense amount of draft picks you have and Giddy, you could swing a Miles Turner. You could swing a freaking, honestly,
Easily,
yeah,
yeah.
that's what I'm saying, right? Like, easily you could swing a Miles Turner with all them picks that you have in Giddy. I even said this as a Lakers fan, and this is on some, like, I've gave up almost all hope, but like, you know what? Let's just do a swap. Y'all go ahead, get AD. We'll bring Chet over here. We'll start planning for the future, and we'll go that way. Because I mean, you put AD on that team. That team is easily a championship contender, if not already at this point.
The Thunder, apart from the salary, that's the biggest hiccup, but they would have to figure out a way to finagle around that. But in terms of the assets that they have, with the amount of picks they have in Giddy and maybe Dort, if they wanted to move off of him, that they have enough to really bring in like 3 legitimate superstars, like 3 top 25 type players if they wanted to. Um, but obviously, money is the gap that between what makes that happen.
Yeah, exactly. Kurt over here trying to get crazy to bringing his personal life into this. I'm with you though, Kurt.
Yeah,
All right, let's see
he's
what we
not
got.
shaking those allegations.
Yeah, honestly, even if the court case came out and said like she was already like old enough, right, or something like that. But even if that's the case, even just to be close to that line is, come on, Giddy,
Yeah,
come
yeah.
on.
I would not be comfortable with him in the Lakers uniform.
Man, especially with how much hate that the Lakers already get. But let me see here. And for everybody in the comments, I will get to all y'all comments. It's just kind of, there's so many that go by. Me and Stone just having this great conversation. But Lakers fan 24 says, I hate facing the Kings. They always beat the Lakers. Well, you know what? Let's speak life into it, because we're facing the Kings 2 times in this next like week or so. So we need to get 2 big wins. So I hope that they don't beat us. And shout out my homie AJ that was in here earlier. He's going to go to the Kings game on March 13th. So that should be real fun. But Yeah, I mean, Stone, do you have any thoughts on this? Any thoughts against Kings and Lakers matchups?
I think it's gonna be like, just from an entertainment perspective, a really fun matchup. I would say. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun basketball. You see, I don't know. You're in a similar situation where they have their lead guard is just gonna carve us up, but um, I think AD matches up against Sabonis probably better than any other big in the league. So
Yeah.
um, I think that would really stifle a lot of their offense. I don't know. That's one of those that I think could be a long series, 6 or 7 games for either team if it were. But I think you're talking more about the play-in. That'd be a play-in game, so it'd be one game. It could really. I think that's more of a coin flip. Honestly, I think that's a pretty dead even sort of matchup across the board.
Which you saying that, like, yeah, I agree. It probably is a even matchup, but I think, to me, like, I blame that on Anthony Davis, because I mean, we seen what Kevon Looney did to Sabonis last year. I mean, we had Warriors fans around the league thinking that Kevon Looney is actually a good big. I was like, yo, you realize that Sabonis isn't a 5, right? So Kevon Looney could make him look like a little boy and make him look like a real good big. I mean, and make him look like a real good big. But at the end of the day, I'm here to break it to you guys. Kevon Looney is not a good big in this league. He's just immensely bigger than Sabonis. But I think, AD is not only bigger than Sabonis, but 100 times better than him. So Anthony Davis, dog, I'm going to be leaning on, not more than I've already been leaning on you throughout the entire season. I'm going to be leaning on you even more, dog, because I don't want none of that. Oh, I'm gonna bring it this game, I'm not gonna bring it next game, and that's my biggest gripe with him, man. It's like, and that really gets me going, Stone. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know if you watch Family Guy, but Family Guy, like Peter says, what grinds my gears? What grinds my gears? When Anthony Davis chooses it, like picks and chooses when to bring it. And I think a perfect example of this is last night. Dominant double game against Chet. Put up 24 points, I think like 15 rebounds or something like that against Jokic, the best big in the league, when he needs to show up, when he needs to be there, when he against the big that swept him last year in the playoffs. What does he do? I'm not really going to bring that energy tonight, guys. I'm just more toned down. Like, come on, man. Like, that's my biggest issue with him, because that's a personal problem at that point. That means you ain't got that fire in you. So that's my problem, AD.
I don't think this is probably more of a discussion for the offseason, but I don't think the Lakers can move forward if LeBron were to not be on this team past next year's trade deadline. I don't think they can move forward with Anthony Davis being the main piece of this team.
He's not a, and I've told this to a lot of people. He's not a 1A. Anthony Davis is a 1B. He is the type of guy that needs to get the ball like given to him. He needs to be put in the position to score. He's not the type of guy that says, "Give me the ball and I'm gonna score. Get out the way." Like, he's just not that guy. He just doesn't got that dog in him. And I think to be a 1A, you got to have that. And unfortunately, I just don't think that man's got that. But Lakers fan, man, you are speaking a whole bunch of life for the Kings. Why are you doing this? I hope they don't. Yeah, I agree. The Lakers definitely are one of the worst teams in the league at defending the three, running teams off the 3-point line. We suck at that. Sean said we need AD to set the tone with Sabonis. Yes, exactly. We just talked about that. AD has to set the tone. Kurt, what do you think are keys to success to take the Kings twice in the upcoming games? Anthony freaking Davis. That's the biggest key to this. I ain't gonna lie. Stone, do you have something else to add to that?
Not really, no.
Yeah, right there with you. Junior said Giddey is a TikToker. That's hilarious. He do be on TikTok. A lot of Oklahoma City Thunder don't be on TikTok.
The whole team, yeah.
Yeah, the whole team, they have Jalen Williams and the other.
They keep the vibes good, though. I respect it.
They keep the vibes high. Lakers in 5 said, I hope they don't get Lawyer. Are you talking about OKC Lakers in 5? I'm guessing you're talking about OKC, but yeah, I hope they don't either, because that would just make them even better and harder for us to be able to match them up. My boy Joe in the house. What's going on, Joe? Kevon Looney is crazy. Yeah, I agree. Let me see. Junior's talking about, I don't know about AD Sabonis matchup. Sabonis has been getting the best of AD somehow. AD actually gets worked by Eastern European centers, Sabonis, Jokic, Nurkic. That's a good point. That is a really good point, Junior. He doesn't need to put an end to that. He's making us Americans look terrible.
But AD has difficulty with guys that are bruisers. Sabonis is a bruiser primarily. I mean, he's not really a center defensively, but offensively, that's where he likes to create offense for himself. Is down on the block or doing high lows. He really likes getting physical. AD doesn't, but at the same time, I think AD mitigates a lot of space that Sabonis can't create necessarily. And Sabonis isn't much of a floor spacer. So the fact that he isn't, as opposed to someone like Jokic, and I'm not comparing Sabonis to Jokic because it's apples and oranges, but I think AD matches up better with the fact that Sabonis can't create space physically or through shooting, as well as maybe some of those other European guys that you mentioned can.
Let me see. I want to pull up Sabonis, how much Sabonis weighs. I ain't gonna lie because they're
They're
he
always
is
inaccurate, but he's
okay.
he's probably got to be like 265, 275.
He's 240 right here. It
Nah.
says he's 240, and then it says Anthony Davis is 254. Um, look, man,
Yeah, he's not
if,
15 pounds heavier.
if Anthony Davis better not be getting bruised up by this dude. But great point though, Junior. I mean, he has been getting Sabonis has been getting the best of him. And then let's show some love here to Kurt. Kurt said, would have loved to see Sabonis' dad in Prime NBA. Yes, would have been great to see. Joe, what a brilliant observation. This right here, Joe, I love it. This is top tier analysis. Just got to get more buckets. Just got to put the ball through the hole more than the other team. That's all
This
you
is
got
why
to do.
people listen. Yep.
This is why people are tuned in. Joe. Exactly. Let me see here. Anything else? They just have to fight hard or something. There we go, Joe. There we go. Another one
Profound.
coming through. All right. I mean, I think comments y'all can keep them coming through. I'm gonna go ahead and keep it pushing. I had somewhat of a show agenda here, just in case nobody joined, but happy that everybody's on here, getting at us with us. Let us know if you guys have any comments you guys want to get to. But Stone, I guess let me ask you some Laker questions here. Stone, do you think now that we're past the trade deadline, in hindsight, do you think we should regret not of making any moves at the trade deadline? Or are you happy that we stood pat?
No, I absolutely think we should. I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. We should have traded D'Lo, not because I don't want D'Lo on the team, not because I don't think D'Lo is good. This is the best D'Lo's ever played in his career. Two things. One, I don't think it's sustainable because of the fact it's the best he's ever played in his career. Similar to Cam Reddish, we've had however many years of sample size to see that D'Lo is a very up and down player. D'Lo does not stay on the same course, and that's not necessarily a knock on him. That's who D'Lo is, and I like D'Lo quite a bit. I think a lot of people take what I say and take it to mean like whenever I say something negative about a player that I dislike them. I really do like D'Lo. I like watching D'Lo a lot. I think he's best utilized as a sixth man personally. The Lakers don't have the luxury to be able to have that, so they have to use him as a starting point guard. That said, D'Lo is playing the best of his career. With each game he's playing like this, he's raising his salary higher and higher. So I wouldn't blame him if he were to opt out and want to get more money from someone else, that can offer it to him. We should have. We shouldn't be taking this chance as the Lakers to be like. So let's say let's say D'Lo opts in and stays with that 18 million. It's just because it worked out doesn't mean it was a good decision to keep D'Lo. Like it happened to work out, and you got lucky that it did. But you had the opportunity to not have to risk it at all by trading him at the deadline and retaining asset value that goes beyond this summer that you can then use as part of your team or to trade for somebody else down the line. So the fact it's just bad process in my mind, not because it might not work out. I mean, it might still work out, and he could be here with that $18 million contract and opt in, and everybody's happy about it. But the fact that you took that chance to me is just bad process regardless, because you didn't have to sweat this out and you could have just traded him for something that you could still use in the future. So to me, I'm not happy that we kept D'Lo, again, for the reasons I stated, not because I dislike him or anything.
Absolutely. And with some of those reasons, I could get right there with you. And I want to have a open dialogue, open conversation here. And like, what who would you have wanted, and who realistically would you have wanted? And do you think we could have got back for D'Lo if you think you want to get rid of D'Lo?
I don't. So I'll say it with this intention that whoever we traded D'Lo for wouldn't have gotten us any closer to a championship this year. Like that's just out of the question. It's not feasible, and that's not why. Like I've explained, I'm looking to move D'Lo. I'm looking long term, more thinking ahead as to you're taking that risk that he leaves. So you're looking for someone that has probably comparable value or salary. And I'm not saying these guys were or were not available because I'm not in the war room with the calls, but maybe like a Bogdanovich, the Hawks one. I always mix them up, but I think someone of comparable value on probably the trade market, because he has money for longer term that you could probably move and flip for similar comparable amounts as to what you could for D'Lo. D'Lo right now is probably, I always think about things in terms of picks. That's the currency of the NBA. So D'Lo's probably worth like 1.5 firsts right now. I think Bogdanovich might be worth something similar. So you're probably looking for somebody like that along those terms. I can't think off the top of my head right now of an extended list of names, but somebody like that of equal value that you think just has longer term deal, that so to give you more time to be able to look for moves and include them in a package, because we keep talking about this, right? I listen to the post games, even though I don't make them all. I still listen to them all. I hear you guys talk about, maybe that third star in the summer or whatever. You want to be able to make sure you have those assets to be able to make a deal like that if the opportunity were to arise. And now you're in a position where that opportunity might not exist if you don't have D'Lo to be able to include him in a deal like that. So that's just where I'm coming from, where I'm thinking, how do you secure that asset without losing it for nothing?
Okay, I hear. So you're more talking on the side of planning for the future, and for as far as that, like I could definitely get with you for some of that. But see, the thing is, for me, and I was a big advocate of like trying to keep D'Angelo Russell, and I did a whole video on my Lakers Corner channel, which again, shameless plug, go check out my Lakers Corner channel. Film breakdown talking about the importance of D'Angelo Russell to this team. And at the end of the video, I just talked about the fact that, like, look, when LeBron is not on the court and D'Angelo Russell is, that is the besides LeBron, D'Angelo Russell is our only other like true point guard, like true point guard. When I say point guard, I mean like a playmaker, not only for himself, but to set other people up. Austin Reeves is a 2. Okay. I don't want, he can sometimes, bring the ball up court, but he is not a true playmaking guard. And the reason why I think it's so important to have a player like D'Angelo Russell on this team is exactly why we were talking about earlier with Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis needs to get going, right? And I think there's no one better on this team besides LeBron, of course, at giving those roll passes to Anthony Davis, whether it be on the lob or whether it be just Anthony Davis fades back, or simply just allowing D'Angelo Russell to be on the ball and then allowing LeBron to run the lanes. Because we all know this. Yes, LeBron is old, but I still don't know many players in the league that are more dominant than LeBron coming downhill. I just don't think there is many. That maybe Giannis, maybe Embiid when he plays, but besides that, I don't think that there's more players you can list that are more dominant and unstoppable force coming downhill. And if D'Lo's not on the court, if D'Lo's not on this team, unless we bring in another playmaking guard, I just think that it just puts so much pressure on LeBron to have to be that point guard, to have to play make, and it just takes away from him being able to run the lanes, or takes away him being able to play a little bit more off ball. And that was my biggest reason I really wanted to keep D'Lo, is because not only can he serve Anthony Davis and get him going, but he can also allow LeBron to be able to play different roles for this team. And, in crunch time, I definitely want the ball in LeBron's hands. I want him making decisions, but he's 39 years old. So who can we have for maybe quarters 1, 2, and, maybe the beginning of the third, and then late in the third and the rest of the fourth quarter, LeBron and Anthony Davis, they can operate that. So that was my biggest reason why I wanted to keep him in, because, I believe he's the best percentage-wise, the best shooter on our team. And because so you can put him on the ball and allow LeBron to run the lanes, and then you can have D'Lo on the ball, run pick and rolls to Anthony Davis. And if you want, you can have LeBron on the ball, and then Anthony Davis pick and rolls with them, and you can just put D'Lo in the corner. So I just think it just works out in so many different facets or form. But I will give you that if it sets us up for the future, maybe that's something that we should be looking towards, because there's nothing that will do a championship this year.
No, I agree that D'Lo provides that value and all the reasons that you stated. I just don't want to have to lose all of that and get nothing in return for it if he were to walk this summer. So that's it's nothing necessarily to do with D'Lo and his on-court production. It's more to do with managing the assets that we have and ensuring that we keep them. And to me, like, if the opportunity were to arise, I don't know if we necessarily even have enough, but I would like to have that option at least to maybe throw a package of, you have D'Lo, Rui or AR, and the 3 firsts or whatever, and you could go after that third star or whatever the case may be too. Now you have that guy that is able to do all the things that D'Lo did, like you're saying, and probably provide even more on a consistent basis. And LeBron and AD don't have to carry so much of the offensive load night to night. So that's more where I'm coming from, not necessarily to do with I have anything against D'Lo or what he provides. It's just a matter of how can we keep production that D'Lo is bringing and make sure that it lasts past the summer without taking the chance that we don't have that past the summer.
Yeah, it definitely would suck to see him walk for nothing. And knowing players in today's NBA, nobody's really loyal to their teams anymore. It's about just getting your bag. So there's a good chance that happens. And real quick, just want to welcome in everybody. We got Daniel came up in here. We got FY Sports Debate. Everybody's coming in here, man. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Let me go ahead and get to a topic that I wanted to touch on here. And that is, LeBron scoring the 40K points on March 2nd against the Nuggets. Honestly, there's nothing more to be said than we've already said. But what I want to add to is, like, Stone, is this man your GOAT, or is he not your GOAT? Like, who's your GOAT, Stone? Because I got to get this out the way, because this conversation, whenever I have it with Joe and Gerald, they're like, "Oh, you're too young." So you tell me, Stone, who's your GOAT?
My GOAT is Michael Jordan, which obviously is the most basic answer, but I think really my GOAT is Michael Jordan of the NBA. I think of basketball, it's Kareem, and I think if you're comparing NBA careers, I think really Michael Jordan and Kareem for me are 1A and 1B, and it's LeBron that is securely at 3 for me, which is probably a hot take for people, because I know a lot of people don't consider Kareem in these debates. But I think when you look at all the awards, and really, like, he would have way more accolades in statistic records if for half of his career they actually counted defensive numbers. They didn't even count defensive numbers for like the half of the time that he played basketball. So I think that would even change a lot more towards him. But he's 6-time MVP, 6-time champion. Like, there's a lot, or finals MVP. There's a lot of accolade, and 19-time All-Star, I think. Like, he's got a resume of resumes when you look at it. And I think that LeBron has the opportunity to get in that conversation still, because when you look at how dominant he is this late in his career, he can still have another 3 years maybe at this level, and that might be enough to really push him towards there. Maybe he gets, if he could get one more ring, I think that changes quite a bit. Um, so yeah, I have him at 3 currently, and that's for probably especially for like my generation or my age, a hot take.
Yeah. So look, y'all. I mean, at the end of the day, this whole GOAT stuff is very subjective. So, I see Game Pass over here talking about if we don't agree with him, he's leaving. No, please, we don't ever want you to leave the channel. Stay through. But we also have to look at the facts, right? Like, just because you hate somebody, just because you don't like somebody because of a move they did, like, doesn't mean you can't you discredit them for all that they did. So, like, I'm gonna be honest, guys. Like, and I'll say it up front. When you take everything into account, when you take what impact on the game, when you take longevity, when you take scoring, assists, steals, rebounds, games played, when you take everything, it has to be LeBron James, in my opinion. Like, especially from the fact of, like, all right, the man is number one scoring in all time. I don't think no one will ever break his scoring record, but funny, people, probably said that about, the old scoring record. So it is what it is, 20, 30, 50 years down the line, maybe someone breaks it or whatnot. But okay, right. So LeBron has a scoring record, which I don't think will ever be touched. He's top 4 in assists. He's eight in steals, 31st in rebound, seventh in games played. And when I talk about the fact that he changed the game, like, I need you guys to, like, take away any hate or any, like, negative energy that you guys have towards the way that he made the decision or whatever. Take that and for 1 second just throw that out the window, okay? And let's just look at what that decision did for the rest of the league, okay? Because that decision right there, and everyone knows what I'm talking about when I say the decision, when he chose like, oh, I'm taking my talents to South Beach, right? I think he did it in the worst possible way, and like, I think that it was a publicity stunt, and I know he was raising money for the YMCA, the Boys and Girls YMCA or whatnot, which is great, but at the end of the day, I think that the way he did it, people hate it so much. And then he did the not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. And people just like hate that so much that they just hold that against him. But for 1 second, y'all, let's stop holding that against him. And let's look at how many finals he's been to. Let's also look at the competition level. Okay. Like, there's nothing you can tell me. Michael Jordan didn't even face half a team as talented as that Golden State Warriors team. And LeBron James was going toe to toe. Like, y'all, look at that Cavs team when I believe it was like when Kyrie got hurt and Kevin Love got hurt. J.R. Smith was the only other starter that was on that was technically a starter that was with LeBron. And LeBron is going up against a dynasty, a absolute dynasty in the Warriors. So I think that when you take that into account as well, I think LeBron James, not only is he, like I said, number one scorer of all time, top four in assists, top 10 in the game played, top 10 in steals, changed the game, all this and all that. But he also did this against the hardest possible competition, harder than Jordan, harder than Kobe, harder than Kareem, harder than anyone, right? Especially when you get to them older players. Them older players, them dudes used to have second jobs outside of playing basketball. So you can't take none of that into account. So to me, like, you don't start getting into GOATs when it's like the Kobe's and the LeBrons. And I'm saying this, you guys, on the fact of, like, look, I started watching basketball because of Kobe Bryant. Like, my man right here, I got him put up in the Lakers corner. And every time I talk about the game, right, I always have to give love to Kobe because he was the one that brought me to it. But at the end of the day, you guys, it was in 2020 when I came to my recollection. I was like, all right, damn, this guy at 36 years old who has the ability to go get a bucket on anybody at any time is now leading the league in assists, is now leading his team, but not by just being that, give me the ball, I'm gonna go score, which he can still do, but he was setting up Anthony Davis. And ever since then, I mean, he's transitioned, right? I mean, also when you look at longevity, 39 years old, guys, I was watching Kobe when he was around this age, and it was, and I love Kobe, again, reason why I'm here, but it was just torn AC, what was it, Achilles. It was just torn Achilles, or bad games, or just, the team wasn't nearly good and built around him, but he wasn't, like, he was just getting shots up. At this point, y'all, like, LeBron James is, it's tough to say winning basketball when we're in the 9th seed, but he's playing somewhat of competitive basketball. We're not bottom tier of the league. Like the Lakers, I don't know if you guys remember when Kobe was dwindling out, but like I was watching Ryan Kelly lay on the bench because we only
Kaman. I think it was Kaman, the
Oh,
other
you're
the
right.
other lazy
You're
white guy.
right.
Yeah.
You're right. It was Chris Kaman. Chris Kaman was laying on the freaking bench, y'all. I would but don't worry, I was there for Ryan Kelly. I was there for Robert Zachary. I was there for all these terrible players that I mean, we were bottom tier of the league. And I mean, I just think that LeBron James at 39 still being able to be competitive, still doing what he did against the Clippers the other night is crazy, guys. And again, it's all subjective, so don't nobody leave or whatnot. But at the end of the day, when you take into account that LeBron, 40,000 points, and also when you look at games played, LeBron has played 1,475 games. Kareem, right under him, has played 1,560 games. LeBron is like 2,000 more points than him. So, I mean, I don't know. When you just take longevity and all that into account, I think it's just hard to not go with Bron. But I just wanted to get your opinion on that.
I think, yeah. I mean, I think this is a discussion that it is probably going to go on for like there'll never be a point again where Michael Jordan's the unanimous number one for people. I think that this is now turned into a debate where it's not going to stop, and they'll probably be. I mean, another, like you said, maybe another 50 years down the line, there's another guy that enters this conversation too that we don't know about yet. So I think it's always going to be a debate people want to have, and rightfully so. I mean, it's a fun conversation to have. I think it's something we could talk about for like 2 hours straight, probably, and still not come to a conclusion about. So I think it's a good discussion to have. I think everyone has. It is subjective, like you said, and I think the reason it is because everyone has different ways they measure someone being the GOAT. And I think that, so for some people it's accolades, for some people it's purely statistics, for some people it's just the eye test, some people it's all three. I mean, everyone has different measures and values as to how they weigh that. So I think that's what makes it subjective. And I think, for me, he's third with the potential to get up to 2 or 1, but I don't really think that people should include any sort of off-court stuff really into how they view NBA success, like with the decision or however. Like, I think that's just kind of silly. Like, people should focus on what they do as a basketball player, and that's how you should judge them and what they've done for the game. And I think that's what's most important in this discussion.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people to this day hold that decision over LeBron like very, very rough. But all right. And then then last question I have for you, Stone, is there anything that LeBron still can do to get to number one for you? Like if you like won a championship this year or something like that, would that put him at number one for you?
Yeah, but I don't know. I'd have to really. I'm someone that's very analytical. Yeah, I have to look at everything and weigh it all out. I haven't done that, but it would definitely put him close, I think. And I think I will say, for as much as obviously I have LeBron third, but I think the Cleveland championship, the last Cleveland championship he had, out of the Kareem, all the Michael Jordan championships, and all the championships of LeBron, out of all their combined championships, that to me was the single most impressive one that occurred. So I'll give him that for sure.
You talking about that when he blocked Iggy when he came?
Was that the same? The one where they came back from 3-1.
Yeah, that's when
he just dragged that team on his back.
That was crazy, dog. Like, no, that was crazy.
That's the single most impressive championship.
That was insane. I'm not gonna lie, and we don't even got to get into the LeBron glaze right now, but that show was crazy. But anyway, Stone, I emailed you the link. See if you can share your screen because my work they don't want my work doesn't want to see me winning, Stone. They're not trying to let me do the screen share.
Trying to hold you down. All right. Let's see.
So we're gonna get into this quick Lakers quiz. We'll see if Stone can share his screen here.
Select a tab.
So it's just some Lakers questions, and for everybody.
Can you see that?
Boom. There we go.
All right, nobody get at me after my tabs. I always have like 1,000 tabs open.
Oh
But
no, you were all good, brother. But yeah, so we got this Lakers quiz. I was like 20 or some questions, but we'll go ahead and get into it. If anybody in the chat want to help us out, please do. But all right, let's go ahead and get into question number 1. What is the Los Angeles Lakers' longest winning streak?
ooh, I don't know this off the top of my head.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I hope there's not too many like old questions because I was born in '99. I wasn't watching before then, but
yeah, we need Joe on here for this. Obviously, I can't see the chat or anything either. So
oh yeah, I'll let you know. Okay. Oh yeah, I'll let you know. The chat. People are saying 33. We got everybody. 33? Sean saying 33. Ken saying 33. Yeah, let's go with 33. See if we get that right.
We're trusting you.
Okay. There we go.
Nice. Good job, chat.
There we go, chat. There we go. All right, here we go.
By Jerry West. Nice.
All right, Jerry West. There we go. You want to just swap? You want to just swap on the reading the question, Stone, or you want me to read
it? Either way, I don't care. I can go for it if you want.
All right, yeah.
Which head coach has won the most championships with the Lakers? Pretty sure it's Phil. I would think.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, let's go Phil.
Phil, like is the chat have a different answer?
No, everybody's saying Phil Jackson with 5.
All right. Oh no!
Whoa, what? Hold on.
It was too easy.
It has to. Yeah. Okay. I think, and then it won't be Pat Riley either. Then.
Yeah, Bill. Yeah.
You know what?
I feel like such an idiot right now.
Stone, people are we're gonna lose our credit. All right, let's go with John because my name is John.
Okay. Oh.
I'm gonna be honest, guys. I didn't even know that was a real Lakers coach.
For the dumbest reason, we picked it and won.
That is hilarious.
Head coach for Minnesota Lakers. Oh, that's why. Minneapolis.
Okay.
Come on.
Minneapolis. Now. All right. Meaningless. All right. Number 3. Which player did the Lakers draft twice?
I actually think I know this. I think it's Elgin because of military things that were going on with him back in the day.
It is Elgin because I know it's not Magic, Jerry, or Kobe, so it is.
Yeah, there you
go. Let's go, Stone. There we go. Okay, so we've only missed one so far, right?
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Which?
Oh, go ahead.
Which Laker was so dominant that he prompted the NBA's introduction of the goaltending rule? Pretty sure that's a Wilt.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think it's. Is it Wilt? Yeah. I mean, it would have to be Wilt because Jerry West definitely wasn't doing that.
I know. The free throw line thing was because of Wilt. Like, he couldn't jump from the free throw line because he was just dunking from the free throw line. That's how he shot his free throws. And they said that your feet had to be ground bound, so that rule changed because of him. So I'm just kind of assuming that
other rule changes. Yeah. All right, let's go.
Oh my gosh! Come on. It's got to be Mikan then.
Yeah, let's go with Mikan.
Okay.
That's crazy. Stone, did you play basketball growing up?
I did, yeah.
Do you remember doing the Mikan drills?
No, well, I'll have to tell you, it's a long story, but I actually have a really unorthodox story of how I played basketball.
Okay.
I played a lot of pickup, and in the area I was playing in, a lot of the people that played pickup played professionally in Europe and stuff. So I had a lot of different way of basketball. I didn't really have the traditional playing youth league type stuff.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, Jordan Mikan. I mean, man, he has a drill. You just keep laying it up on the left, right. But
he has a drill and his own rule.
Yeah. So there we go, man. Got to be the GOAT. But all right, number 5, we got which Laker once outscored an entire opposing team through 3/4 of play?
Kobe,
I know this one.
Yeah,
this is Kobe Bryant.
The 81. Yeah.
Yeah, 81.
There we go.
Let me see.
Oh, that wasn't even the 81 game.
Oh wow, that was a 62-point game against the Mavs.
Wow. Wait, 62 points in 3/4 entering the 4th quarter. So he scored the first 62 points or something?
The scoring, that's insane.
I'm gonna have to. I feel so dumb right now, but I'm gonna have to Google this after because that's crazy.
Scoring the first 62 points if I'm your teammate, I'm like, Give that up, bro.
That's
Come
wild.
on.
I'm gonna have to rethink this goat answer. Which Laker holds the NBA record for block shots in a game? Okay, so this is tough. Oh, you know what? I do know this answer, and it's none of the names you're thinking of. It's actually Elmore Smith.
I was gonna say that it is Elmore
Yeah,
Smith. Let's
there you
go.
go.
Let's go, guys.
I was
Go.
actually, yeah, that I was recently doing basketball trivia for something, and that question came up. Which Laker was famous? Oh, sorry, I think I'm reading all of them now.
No, you good. You good. I mean, no, you
Okay.
good. Which Laker was famous for the sky hook shot? I mean, we already know Kareem, baby.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought I was nervous. I thought they were gonna give us the next.
They were gonna, yeah,
It's
because
too easy. Yeah.
they got us with some already.
Which Laker earned a reputation for flopping?
Vladi.
Vladi, yeah.
Yeah, Vladi.
There you go.
Let's get it. Let's get it. We on a roll.
Well, is it useful trivia? I'm gonna have to play this more. This is fun.
Which Hall of Famer averaged just 2.1 points per game for the Lakers?
It wasn't Nash. I know Nash got more than that.
Honestly, I'm doing process of elimination. It wasn't Karl Malone, it wasn't Nash, and definitely wasn't GP. So I think it's got to be Dennis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
What player did the Lakers acquire prior to the 2018 season? Obviously not hard. They didn't even spell Harden right. Kevin Durant. Okay, well we know that one. The only guy that's played for the Lakers. Let's see.
All right. How many NBA championships did the Lakers win during the 1960s? Damn.
I'm gonna say 6, right? Because they talked about the Minneapolis coach winning the most championships of any Lakers, and it was during the 60s. It showed the years. So
let me see. Before you click that, let me see if the chat says anything. I'm waiting for I'm waiting for someone in the chat. Chat, do you guys got anything?
Because Phil had 5, so it would have to be 6. I feel like.
Let me see now. All right, chat doesn't have anything. Chat, Joe, right. Joe's in the chat. Joe, come on. You are our historian. Yo, JY Hen says 0.
0. Oh,
0.
No.
And then Kurt says 2 question mark.
Okay. All right. You're not helping us at all, chat. You're all over the place.
All right. I'm gonna go with honestly.
You tell me. I'll click whatever. What do you think?
All right. Let's go with I'm gonna go with 0, honestly. I don't know why.
Nice. There you go.
There we go. There we go.
Oh, I'm so dumb. Yeah, that's when Elgin and Jerry played.
That's when we just kept losing, huh?
Yeah. What were we? 1-7, and then that year Elgin retires, we win. Which Laker holds the franchise single season record for assists?
My guess would be Magic, but I don't know.
Single season record for it. It's got to be Magic. I feel like, but all these easy ones are like have me second guessing.
Man, let chat. Come on, chat. Give me some, chat.
It's not Jerry.
Give me a second. Give me a second, Stone. Let's see if the chat says something.
Because what was Jerry's highest? I think was in the 8s, and obviously Magic averaged more than that.
No, Sean said Nixon ? But.
I'm gonna go with Magic.
I feel like Magic. Yeah, that's okay.
We're overthinking it now.
We're overthinking it.
Yeah.
All right. Which Lakers star formerly played for the Harlem Globetrotters?
Oh, Meadowlark.
Wow. Yeah, I think it has to be that, right?
Oh my gosh. Wilt. Yeah. Wait.
Yeah, I guess. Okay. Yeah.
After I gotta read this real quick. Frequently join the Globetrotters. Okay. In the off season, then. Who is the first Laker to win Most Valuable Player? Well, Wilt was before Kareem.
Yeah.
Well, Elgin. Did Elgin win MVP? Oh my gosh.
Dang. Wait, Wilt was before Kareem?
Wilt was before Kareem, yeah. Because Kareem played in his later years, like in the 80s, and Wilt played in the with the Lakers in the 70s. I'm gonna say I don't know if Elgin won MVP or not though. What does the chat say?
Nobody's gave no answers in the chat. That's how you know they don't know this either.
or they just want to see us struggle and look like dummies.
Come on, guys. All right. Honestly, my answer would be it either. If Will came before,
I'm gonna go with Elgin just because he's
go
older.
Elgin. Elgin.
Okay, so it's Will. No, neither won MVP on the Lakers.
No way. Wait, so it has to be Kareem then.
Yeah, but how did neither win? I thought.
Nah, we're gonna have to fact check that later.
This is cap. All right. Which player did the Lakers trade for his older brother?
Mark.
Yeah. There we go. All right. I wasn't even gonna think that one through.
Which Laker was thrown out of a record 127 games? Oh, that's Vern. Vern was crazy, bro.
Vern?
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, I know.
I'm trusting you because you said it so quick.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
You knew what you were talking about. Which Lakers was nicknamed Zeke from Cabin Creek? What?
I have never ever heard that.
Okay, so I feel like so Big Game James is obviously, and I think we would have heard of it if it was Jerry or Shaq because they're so famous. So it's got to be Gale.
It's got to be Gale.
No?
Oh,
what?
Damn. Even the chat saying Gale. Sean, my fault. I think Sean was saying Kareem. I just didn't read the chat in time. Sean said, read the chat. I'm sorry, Sean. All right.
What?
Sean just said Jerry West is Zeke.
Jerry West?
Wow.
What?
Really?
All right. Even Joe, have you heard this? If you're still watching, Joe knows everything historically about the Lakers. Have you ever heard Zeke from Cabin Creek?
I have literally never heard that in my life.
Me either. It's the logo. He's the logo.
Yeah.
What is the Los Angeles Lakers mascot?
None.
Yeah. Which kind of sucks. I wish we did have one, but
I
don't know how you make a mascot of a Laker.
Kurt said the Lakers girls are our mascot.
Oh, that's fair.
That's fair. I
like that mascot. Yeah.
All right. I think it's you. Go ahead.
Oh no, go. I think I did the last one.
Okay. Which player did the Lakers trade after he punched Houston Rockets guard Rudy? I can't even read that last name.
Tomjanovich.
All right. I don't know.
Wait.
Chat, let us know.
I don't think it was Jamal Wilkes. Norm?
Yeah, Kurt said Norman with a question mark though, so he's not too sure about that. Yeah, I honestly don't know. I'm with you, whatever you say, Stone.
Oh my gosh, man, this is not good.
Jamal sounds like he punches somebody.
Jamal does. I don't. He could. He's so nice after. He's like Isaiah.
He's like Isaiah Thomas. Sean said Kermit Washington. Go with that.
There we go.
Okay, Sean coming through.
He's best remembered for that. Oh, that's not not a good thing.
That's not something good to be remembered for.
The Lakers franchise began with the purchase of what disbanded team? Whew.
Joe, if you're still in here, we need the historian.
Buffalo was the Clippers, though.
Yeah. So it's either between the Royals, the Gems, or the Jeeps. Dang. Somebody said, oh no, that was for the last question.
Royals was Sacramento.
Okay, so then between the Gems and Jeeps. Chat, what you guys thinking, chat? Chat, come on.
Well, Detroit is Michigan's close to Minnesota, right? Kind of.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Maybe. Oh!
Thank you, Stone. Thank you for saving the day, Stone.
All right, let's see. Last page. Let's finish.
Only two more. All right, let's do this. How many NBA championships did the Lakers win during the 1980s? 5. Yeah, that's when we were dominant. Okay,
I didn't even get a ding on that.
Right. The dings made me feel good about myself.
Yeah. How many championships did the Lakers win during their first 7 seasons? Who?
How many championships did the Lakers win there? Oh man.
I'm not that old.
Yeah.
Joe?
We need
No, I'm just kidding.
Gerald and Joe in here. Come on. Sean said 5.
5.
Sean says 5.
Anyone want to second that in the chat?
Yeah, let me see. Kurt says 5 with a question mark. So hold on.
All right.
Somebody give us some in the chat. Somebody give us something, please. I mean, 5 seems reasonable, right, Stone?
Yeah, we'll try that. No.
Oh no. Oh, Sean said no idea on that last question.
It's 7 or 6. It's not 4 because this is when that coach would have existed because it was before the 60s, and they said this is the most winningest coach.
Kurt said 7 with a exclamation mark.
Oh,
damn.
No, 2. All right, so it's got to be 6. Yeah.
Dang.
All right, that's
crazy. All right, how many did we get wrong? So we got that one wrong
twice. I don't know if we count that twice, but all right, let's see.
Okay.
Oh no, it doesn't tell us.
Oh, it doesn't tell us. Oh no. Okay,
all right. Well, next time we'll keep track.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right, well, but I think we only missed maybe 3, maybe. I think no less than 4. You think we missed more than 3?
I think we missed 6.
Oh
maybe.
God.
I don't know. It was a rough.
This was a rough one, man. This was a rough one.
I think we ended with the C on this.
And with about a C.
No, we're gonna have to come back stronger.
Yes, we will come back stronger. Stone, thank you for sharing the screen, my brother. My work was trying to hold me down. Sean said he liked the quiz, so appreciate you guys for tuning in. Maybe if you guys want it, like maybe more times during the week, me and Stone come on here, do some more Lakers quizzes, just do some more Lakers therapy sessions. This is about an hour and 25. Stone, do you have any last words to say before we get out of here?
I don't think so. Hopefully everyone in here can join tomorrow. I'll be in the playback. I don't think I'll make it to the post game because it's too late for me now that I'm on the East Coast. But yeah, hopefully just keep joining us and finish this thing out.
Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir. Everybody out there, definitely join us tomorrow for the playback and then also post game. And also, if you guys want to subscribe to 2 really good channels, please check out my 2 channels. I got Lakers Corner, that's on YouTube. I'm bringing you all type of Lakers content. I do a little game recaps after every game. I'll drop this video probably on there as well. And then I also got Clutch Talk, where I drop 2 episodes per week, bringing you all NBA coverage. So tune in for that. But for now, appreciate everybody being in here, man. We're gonna keep coming with these. Hopefully Stone can keep joining me because I had a great time with my guy Stone. But for now, chat, appreciate you guys, and we out of here, guys. Deuces.